Greetings everyone, it's me again, Ashra from Bloodmoon Pictures, and welcome to me, seeing the Eternity's End developer preview World of Warcraft Shadowlands for 9.2, I assume. It came out as of recording this yesterday. If this video does come out Friday, which I hope, it'll be a day before, because, I just today noticed this video existed, even though apparently it was uploaded yesterday, like on Wednesday, my time, but who knows. Anyway, so I have no idea what we're getting into here. However, I did see the preview image of the runes and carvings, and my personal opinion as I saw them, and like yeah, as I saw them, basically my opinion and thoughts were basically, my first initial reaction was, oh, this circle thing looks similar to the circle that encaptured Anduin, but in gold instead of blue. But then I was like, wait a second, those are different symbols, and those symbols up there are definitely also present in the big circle thingy. So, and the symbols look a lot alike, like the symbols in the like in the artifacts of the first ones, like everything that was made by the first ones basically has very similar symbolism in it and symbols. However, those have always been like light bluish, while these ones are golden, more like light infused, or more so what I would say infused maybe even with the magic of memory. And like I drew the connection already that maybe the light has a connection to memory magic. But anyway, I don't want to waste too much time of explain like my theory crafting there. In case I didn't show a picture of it in editing, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna watch this video now. It's 11 minutes long, which is a bit longer than I expected. Huh.
The Shadowlands story pulls together threads that started in Warcraft 3 and wove their way through many of our expansions. We approached it like a drama in 3 acts. Now, as the third and final act begins of the saga, we need to stop the jailer from reaching his ultimate goal, which is to rewrite the rules of reality. Eternity's End serves as the final chapter of one book of the Warcraft saga.
What? Okay, hold on. What? The end? Are we only gonna get 2 patch updates? I mean, sure, COVID and everything happened, and all the stuff that had to happen in Blizzard. So it is, like, logical and, like, understandable that they only have 2 patches instead of 3. Have 2 patches instead of 3? Huh. Will this have, like, a similar quote-unquote outcome like, Worlds of Draenor? Like, whoops, we were missing things and stuff like that because, yeah. But luckily this time we didn't know where the story was going to go anyway, so we don't know if something is missing. But, interesting that this is the final chapter. I thought we would have another bigger patch after that for the storyline. Unless that's what actually is happening.
The jailer has the advantage. He has seized the sigils of the leaders of the 4 covenants.
We see Sylvanas realize that she's been a pawn in the jailer's game this entire time, and she refuses to serve him, and she's taken prisoner.
Sylvanas, seriously, like, I mean, sure, we are all thinking it. Really, Sylvanas? Really? You have not realized that
The jailer is able to open a portal to who knows where, taking Anduin with him.
And the Primus had us take some time to retrieve some new sigils.
Now we have gathered our forces. We are working with the Primus to open our own gateway to pursue the jailer to this realm unlike any we've seen before.
Zereth Mortis. Okay, that Zereth... I don't know what Zereth means, but Mortis is death. Huh. So this was basically just catch up. I just want to slap Sylvanas across the face. Like, they could go an explanatory route that, like, because he had her second half, like the second half of her soul, that he was able to manipulate her really easily. And, I mean, that is like, that's such a big, you can do this, to excuse Sylvanas' stupidness. You know?
Primus opens a portal, and we come into this alien land. It's completely white, foggy, we're walking on water.
Hold on! Instant flashback to the end of Kingdom Hearts 3.
For some reason.
They can only make out some shapes, some figures there, some crazy devices and consoles.
Eventually, you make your way to a giant gate, and behind it lies Zereth Mortis.
Zereth Mortis was created by the first ones, and it is intended to create afterlives.
Think of it as being tucked away in the fabric of the Shadowlands itself. It's kind of the behind the scenes of these afterlives that we've journeyed to.
It's the land where the progenitors, the first ones who created all of the realms of the Shadowlands, this is their workshop.
They've created everything we've experienced in Azeroth and Shadowlands and even realms we haven't discovered yet.
Connected to death, right? Unless, connected to death, they have created everything.
These first ones built the universe, as far as we know.
Okay, never mind.
But their intentions or methods are completely unknown.
But of course, the jailer's presence here is disrupting this process. And we're working to push back against the jailer's forces and protect this place.
I think the artists have done a fantastic job. And I know they did a lot of research, and they looked at a lot of real-life examples of very strange places in the real world.
As a team, we were really trying to make this place as alien as possible. So we really wanted to make everything feel completely unique and completely different.
Good. Like that. They tried that with Outland, and I wasn't a big fan of Outland. The design was interesting and everything, but like I personally, it just didn't hit my buttons. So far I love the design of this. I do know where they like, again, the ending of Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna talk through this because it's like a dev talk anyway. The first ones equal the Titans, but actually the real Titans behind the Titans kind of shtick is not really a change I like to see, because I mean, sure, we already like experienced the Titans, and now we need a new big behind the scenes thing. But like, I don't know what I'm supposed to. I mean, yeah, they're opening new chapters. You're opening new stories to delve into in the future and whatever. But like, that's not the direction I saw it going, and I don't know what to think about the first ones creating the entire universe. The Shadowlands, sure, they were the first ones in the Shadowlands, and they worked the Shadowlands and how that works. Sure, everything else, let's see where it goes, I say. But also, I have to get won over from that idea.
Our trees here are floating. We have stones that are floating. We even have the massive Forge of Afterlives that is floating in the center of the zone.
And true to its name, it's something that is kind of putting together a new afterlife to be sent out into the Shadowlands.
We have this water all around you because water is really the catalyst for any kind of creation.
It's actually unlike any other water that we've seen before. This is actually water that we can walk on. It almost creates like a threshold between Cerith Mortis and some other kind of more primordial space right below it. Everything you see in Cerith Mortis has a purpose, an intention behind it. For us, it was really important to find ways to convey that intention in the environment itself. And one of the ways in which we did it was through this duality between a lush and a dry biome. In the dry biome, we see perhaps what the original look of the zone was when the progenitors were first establishing this workspace for themselves. And in the lush biome, we see the result of their experimentation with plant life and fauna and things like that.
These are all test beds for what we'll eventually see elsewhere.
Very Titan-ish.
From there, we started thinking about what kinds of creatures would be in this place that are fundamentally prototypes. There's terraforming here. There's creatures that are building afterlives. We tried to really stretch and think what that might be like.
My personal favorite includes the giant armored snail, and we also have a progenitor chicken, which answers the question of what came first.
These first ones who crafted Cerith Mortis, what they left behind were the automa, meant to take care of the place and make sure that it fulfilled its function to create afterlives.
The automa have several different classes, and you can see this in their silhouettes. We have the builders, we have the protectors, we have the casters, and each one of them have a specific role within the Shadowlands. And then you'll also discover the Jiro, which are a part of the automa. They're a little more quirky, they have a little more personality. They are a little more sentient than the other automa, so some of them even split off to pursue their own desires.
Unfortunately, when we found our way in, Devourers also found their way in. They are ravenous.
They're consuming this weird energy, and it's causing them to mutate and to fall apart.
And the automa, where they are confronted by them, some of them are fighting them off.
And so it's going to take some time for them to understand that we're here trying to help them drive out this threat. Fortunately, we've got some allies. There are some enlightened brokers here that we're going to be working with.
But it's a broker that arrived here quite a long time ago and has had a change of heart from looking at the world as a very transactional place to seeing this place as a holy place, a sacred place. We meet an enlightened one named Fareem, and Fareem needs our assistance, and in return, he leads us to Haven,
which is a hub that has been created out of progenitor ruins, and this is where the Enlightened really have made their home.
Haven serves as our foothold here, as well as use it as a base of operations and really start unlocking the mysteries of this land.
The enlightened brokers are intent on protecting and preserving the work of the first.
I don't know if this is like just a choice of animation, but the brokers here look hunchbacked. So they look like a bit different, which, and like, I mean, like they are built different to a degree. I like that. Like it makes sense with like they split off so long ago, and all this creational stuff. Yeah, it seems very Titan-ish-y and stuff like that. Rinse and repeat, you know.
First ones here. But now they're seeing Zoval bring his forces against the Atoma and tear up the land, and they are eager for assistance.
The brokers themselves are very ostentatious, they're very into materialism, but the Enlightened are not that at all. They have relinquished this material way, and you'll see this reflected in their clothes. They're a little tattered, they're a little faded, because it just isn't important to them anymore. They're just here for the pursuit of knowledge.
When players arrive, they're kind of fishes out of water. And one of the first things that we have to do is start learning how to communicate with the automa. Think of it as a kind of runic language, based in symbols.
Yeah, I mean, a lot, yeah. Based in symbols, that's a lot of languages anyway. But, that's where the symbols come in.
We will bond with a small construct who's pretty cute, actually. And with his assistance and the assistance of...
Even though this is like the way it is presented, you can tell it's well, we designed it to be this way because we know people like it. I do have to agree. That little cute robot guy.
Fareem, we will learn eventually how to understand.
Ooh, I like me some translation stuff going on and ciphers.
The symbols through the cipher of the first ones.
We'll uncover different parts of this alphabet and start to learn more about the progenitors and Zereth Mortis itself.
It will allow you to unlock new and different forms of content. So that can range from daily quests to new options on the vendors to places to explore and new side quests that open up. So it's really the gateway to exploring the far reaches of Zereth Mortis.
As we looked into the development of Cypher of the First Ones, we wanted something that was unique that players haven't seen before. A little bit of familiarity, but something that takes that to the next level.
We really involved the whole team in this creative process. We worked with our UI team to be able to represent those through text, through these things talking and seeing them on screen in chat bubbles and in our chat window. Little by little, these kind of runes start taking shape into words that we recognize. But it's going to be a process that unfolds over the course of playing through Eternity's End.
I love that. I do really, really like that. But again, they already shown there's again a lot of farming and a lot of grinding, but that's MMOs in general, I guess.
The Automa speak in this kind of musical language. They don't talk the way that we mortals are used to speaking. The sound team was super excited. They jumped in, they started prototyping all kinds of different sounds. We listened, we gave feedback. And we really ended up in a cool place. As you're playing through and gradually unlocking the language, you'll be able to see those words that they're saying, but still hear those tones.
Oh, I love that. The sepulcher of the first ones. Here we go.
The
Main
jailer's
storyline.
true goal has never really been to escape the Maw or to gain power. He's been focused on reaching this place called the Sepulcher, to go into this place of power and to really rewrite the rules of the universe. We'll learn that the jailer has breached the Sepulcher of the First Ones, and this becomes our new raid for Eternity's End. We're going to gather our forces, we're going to pursue the jailer.
Our new raid, not final raid.
Inside. Once you go inside the Sepulcher, there's some mind-blowing visuals. This is a place that should not be able to exist according to the laws of physics as we know them on Azeroth. Just
Well, I mean,
looking out into this impossible sky, of seeing these ancient works of the First Ones, those laws don't apply to anything we see here.
Among the bosses that we're going to face in Sepulcher of the First Ones include the jailer's forces, maybe a dreadlord or two that you haven't tied up loose ends with. We'll face a consular. This is similar to a being like Algalon, but the jailer's gotten to it and has infused his domination magic into the consular. Before we get to the jailer, however, we need to get to Anduin first. Our hope is that we can learn whatever Anduin knows about domination magic. We need to be able to resist it, or better yet, fight it.
We know
Tier
players have
sets.
been waiting a long time for the return of tier sets, and as devs, we have too.
It's a great blend of progenitor magic, golds, and metals, along with those class-defining silhouettes. Wolves for shamans, pointy things for rogues. It's gonna look amazing.
have we? Have we? The designs are so far cool. Definitely something I can work into my characters, transmog-wise.
Our class and combat team was super excited to bring class sets back. This is something that
Oh, class sets, yes. Class-based sets, ooh, are nice, but we could, yeah. Like the limitation of only some classes being able to use them is also something that's just
that felt really right for the story. We're in the final act of the Shadowlands saga. We're here literally on the brink at Eternity's End. And what better place to fully unleash the power of these classes? And I think players will really enjoy the return of those class sets just as much as the team enjoyed making them.
How do you make something that is mystical and magical and incomprehensible and yet understandable? I think we've done a good job of finding that line.
The team as a whole has been working
You said a long sentence to say nothing.
so hard, and we are so excited to get this out for everyone.
We're gonna get new mounts, new pets.
A bit horrifying for me, but exciting for some is the fact that, some of the spider mounts can now fly.
I have to agree with that
Who
sentence.
needs flying spiders? But that's also going to be a cool thing for people.
We have updates to professions, to soulbinds, to conduits. There's a new dancing minigame in Darkmoon Fair.
I'm a story guy, so I'm super
Darkmoon Fair stuff, I'm always up for.
geeked about watching players kind of piece together those little lore tidbits. That's what excites me as well.
I'm really looking forward to
Same.
Season 3 of Mythic Plus. Tazavesh is getting split into 2 dungeons. If you're a raider, if you chase Keystone Master, if you're an achievement collector, there's something for everyone to do in this.
Shadowlands is like the final chapter of one book of the Warcraft saga, and our team is already hard at work on the next stories to come. Can't talk about them quite yet, but when the time is right, we're going to be really excited to share them with you.
Okay. So, some things where I'm just like, other things where I'm like, yeah, okay. I kind of felt it coming with everything that happened in Blizzard recently, that they will lean themselves more out of the window with stories than they did previously. Like, it was just something I felt was coming eventually. Quite so soon, didn't really think, but oh well. There's more phantasm and like a lot of like very new stuff, because at the end of the day, we don't have a lot of like old storylines left. And what I really, a thing that bugs me a little bit is like saying, oh, tidbits of this story has been happening since Warcraft 3, where I'm like, not really. Like, I mean, sure, to a degree you can make it work. You can say, oh, that has been behind it, but have you really thought about the Lord of the Afterlife that has been imprisoned, pulling the strings of Ner'zhul, of like the Lich King? I find it good that it's hinted at that Ner'zhul himself didn't really seem to have consciously known about, oh, I'm being controlled by the jailer, I heard the jailer's voice. It was, and like, same with Bolvar, actually. So, at least it can, like, put it that way, which is nice. But, like, making, like, the first ones a thing, then, oh, they have been at the start before even the Titans, apparently, and have created the entire universe. First the Titans created the universe, now the first one created the universe. Then the Big Bang created the universe. Now the first ones... and at some point there will be, oh no, the first ones just formed what was already there. Because, like, you know... I don't know. As long as they don't pull a Homestuck and like say, oh, the developers in real life are the first ones and they self-implement themselves into the game, which happened in Homestuck after Hussey went away again. After Hussey went, the original author of Homestuck left the project, or was about to leave the project, and then the new author self-inserted herself into more of the story in a way that was cringeable. But yeah, who knows? I mean, we are at a dividing point for the World of Warcraft history. Gameplay-wise, some things I look forward to. I'm not completely looking forward to this one. Like, of course, we would have gone through, like, one big new... Like, we would meet some big new things to answer some questions and everything. But I thought of, like, maybe there would have, like, 9.2 would have been, like, a more... We dive back to, like, we connect back with Azeroth a little bit and see, like, oh, we go, like, make some missions also on Azeroth and whatnot. Maybe that's also gonna happen. Little side missions. I mean, this is just like a developer preview, so it's not even like a trailer or whatever. So this is like really start. This is like the base concept that they had months and months, like months ago, probably. And now they're just like, okay, we're gonna show you this because we want to give you more transparency, and stuff like that, which is understandable. I personally like things like that. However, there should be a certain time when to release certain bits of info, in my personal opinion. But anyway, long story short, my personal opinion, some things I'm excited about. New pets and mounts and transmogs always. I like the design of the place, especially like the flourished, more quote unquote more polished and worked with one. The huge ball in the center reminds me a little bit of Destiny, if I'm honest. But it's also like something like I just love like things that God of War, for example, has done, or other games have done, where there's just like something big and graspable in the environment that just like, sure, it could be just a piece of environment, but then you look a bit closer and actually, oh, that's an actual thing. It's actually like, I don't know, a living creature or this huge forge thing or whatever. I am a fan of things like that. And they have not said that the jailer is like they've said this, like Eternity's End is the end of the story for Shadowlands. They've not said anything of the end of the story of the jailer. They had not said that the jailer will be finally faced off here, and they only told us that we will confront Anduin. Of course, this can all the ways, because it's just a preview. We're not going to show you all the cards yet. But it is promising a 9.3. After 9.2, anyway. Which would be how Blizzard has always done their patches. So, sure. But it is like hinty, there's more about the jailer to come. Then, like, maybe he, like in 9.3, he will actually just open up the next expansion instead of dying, and he will become a bigger bad overall. Like, he will survive his expansion, basically. And we get more depth about him and everything. And Anduin will be a boss fight. I don't know how to feel about that. With my personal emotional connection to the baby boy Anduin. Especially because we as players have like actually been like accompanying him since Classic and like watching him grow up and everything, and I like this twist, but I also I mean, sure, Rathian is like, well, Azeroth comes first. Singular mortals are, well, not important. But wouldn't it be cool if Rathian would show up and be like, do you really think I would give you up, friend? Kind of deal. And Anduin would be like, I actually, I never even considered you showing up. And he's like, well, that hurts my feelings a bit. but I understand. I never really let my true intentions show through, blah, blah, blah. I would love a scene like that, but that's very unlikely. But yeah, apart from that, this is like my 2 pence, my 2 cents. It's already half an hour. Are you kidding me? How did I mean, probably the watching of the video took already 15 minutes, if not more. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video here. There's not a lot to say that I haven't said already. I mean, I liked the designs. I really like the designs. Like, it's just like hits like a certain thing. They are very neutral, very basic. Because they are supposed to be like these basic creatures. And I just love how huge the sphere
Kind of putting
is
together
in the world. That is basically my opinion, my take. It didn't wow me. It didn't like the developer preview didn't excite me. However, I did like the deeper understanding of what we're getting. Like the transparency, I did really like. I really appreciate. But yeah, there hasn't really been. I mean, story-wise, sure, we're gonna run up to Anduin. And I mean, sure, we find out about this place, but from the main story that's been going on is we land there, we take a bit, and then we run up to Anduin. And that's about all we know about the main story things. We've seen that there's some Covenant people will be there. I so hope that Kael'thas and Jaina meet up and just have a talk. Just like, ooh, I just can't wait for the sass that's gonna fly in all directions. I really also hope that they will do something with Arthas. There was also my thought about, oh god, what was my thought thingy again? Oh, Deathwing? That, maybe, like, the soul of Deathwing, after he died, his soul, like, Ysera's soul probably through the help from Melun, but, like, is Deathwing's soul would have been in Revendreth for a moment, and then they would be like, nope, and chucked it into the maw, which would give Blizzard the opportunity to, like, let us fight Deathwing, again. But apart from that, I don't know. I really like, so far, I'm neutral. I'm neutral with hopes that there will be things that can capture me. A new raid, we're gonna find Anduin and find out the story about Anduin. And it just sounded like the way they presented it, like there will be a lot of farming going on, a lot of grinding going on, like to unlock the story, which I really like. Like, I liked how they did it in 9.1 with the story to unlock, where basically you just need 2 or 3 like renown, and then you can go on into the next like chapter, and you were kind of guaranteed to get the 2 renown if you do some certain things. I like that, and I hope it's very similar with the like unlocking the story chapters thing, so I have like some sort of way to calculate where, like, how long I'm gonna take. But anyway, this is all I have to say for now. It's 2 a... How is it 2 a.m.? What happened? Okay, in my brain, I sat down... Well, maybe that's why. It's already Friday. What? How is it 2 a.m.? I thought I sat down to do this 4 hours ago. But I did, like, this is unedited. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, if you have your own opinions and stuff like that, leave them down in the comments below. And like it if you agree with my review, or at least appreciate my review and stuff like that. If it is about World of Warcraft's content, that's their content, not mine. So, whatever. But anyway, I sincerely love all of you guys, and we'll see each other in the next video in the stream.